G'day guys, welcome back to Alliance War. This is season 59, episode 5. So we managed to equalize the season up to 2-2. Pretty good result with for us, 7 deaths compared to their 40. We definitely want to aim for sub 10 each war. Deaths wise, we've got 5 fights today using Spider-Woman again, which I'm really excited for. And we're also breaking out a brand new champion. Our opponent is Evo, so another Platinum 1 Alliance. We've definitely had the rub of the green here in terms of opponents, so we'll definitely start favorites again in this war. Our team is our 7-star rank 4 Spider-Woman, our 7-star rank 4 Deathless Thanos, and our 7-star rank 3 Human Torch, making his debut. We're starting with our normal non-recoil setup. The last time I used Torch would have been when he was a 6-star, so it's definitely the first time I've used the 7-star in Alliance War. First, we're starting off with on path 3. We're starting off with Future Ant-Man. There's very few champions that do this fight really well. This is Future Ant-Man with Shipness Thorns. And we are using Deathless Thanos because once we wait out that first armor up here, we don't want to make contact with him or he's going to bleed us. Wait for that first armor up to go away, then we just parry heavy. By parry heavying, we apply our Armor Shattered, and he has no way to get armor up buffs for the rest of the fight. As long as we keep that Armor Shattered paused with our by activating our Counterpunch, we're able to keep that Armor Shattered paused. Obviously it has gone away half already, but we can get our first Counterpunch here by just blocking a hit there. So we pause the Armor Shattered, and it's pretty much going to stay paused for the majority of the fight now. Now that we can get into our Counterpunch rotation, keep those Counterpunches up. And we're just hitting like an absolute truck as well. So we're throwing one special one. I think I blocked the end of this just to get that Counterpunch again so we can pause the Armor Shattered. It's imperative that doesn't fall off, because as soon as that falls off, he starts getting armor ups and we start bleeding to death. But we're able to get through relatively unscathed. Next up, we've got a very notorious fight. So rank 4 Enchantress on node 12. It's a very common, very common placement. And we're using Spider-Woman, who is just such a safe counter for Enchantress in general. Had a really unlucky start because she started with her invisibility, and so we've got no way to counter the invisibility. We do evade when we trigger it, but it's not very it's not a way to bypass the miss, unfortunately. And unfortunately she was just auto blocking every single hit. Like the node said it's a 50% auto block chance, but it was definitely 100. It was close to 100% in this fight, unfortunately. So she throws a one special one. She's still auto blocking every single attack. Obviously, I could be parrying and then hitting her, but I wanted to get rid of at least a few of those spells, or just at least get rid of the invisibility early. But here I could definitely be parry medium, light mediuming here. But we managed to finally get the spells off. Not that it really needed to, because we had 6 debilitates anyway, so that's basically 6 negative spells. She auto blocks us again there, and then here's where we actually start hitting properly. We actually start comboing while she's stunned, because she can't activate the auto block when she's stunned. And she can't auto block specials either, so we throw a special 2 there that applies the retaliation, and we can start building towards that special 1, and then we can apply a bunch of power stings. We do use the Less Survive and Vulnerability boost there, and then I probably should have thrown a special 1 there, but I'll throw it there as she finishes her heavy attack. She's not quite at a bar of power, but this gets her there. I want to get her as high as power as possible to make sure she dies from this special, and she does. Next up, we're on path 5. So they placed 2 mystics on path 5 in section 2, which meant it was smooth pickings for Torch. So we've got Spider-Man Supreme here. Now there's 2 reasons why we're not using the pre-fight here. The first reason is because of the next fight we're taking with Torch, and the second reason is because Spider-Man Supreme is also a tactic defender. So by not having a pre-fight, we can apply the Incinerate debuffs. And that's another way to keep the power detonations paused. Not that it matters too much. Like the power detonations at most, they just tickle a little bit. They don't make too much damage. We get the intercept there about 20 seconds into the fight, which is nice. And you can see the Incinerates are really melting him now. I did make a mistake here. I got hit. I didn't have any vulnerability boost or anything. And here he manages to intercept me down to about 30% health from full. So that was it shows how fragile Torch is health-wise, even as a rank 3. He is not he's not very tanky, that's for sure. He was a bit worried because he had a special 2. I didn't want to bait the special 2. It's not too bad to dex, but I didn't want to take the risk, so I just thought I could just basically combo him to death here with the special 2, and we could in fact. But it was a lot of potions to heal up Torch for this next fight, which is a Intercept Destroyer. So Torch is great for this fight because he just brute forces his way through the protection. You just don't need to worry about intercepting because with the pre-fight, with your Nova Flames, you just are so strong. This guy is not a tactic defender, so we don't have to worry about any power detonations or anything. We can just parry medium way to death. We want to block these special 1 hits. Ideally, we don't want to bait the special 1 because that's how he gets his destruction charges. And if he gets to 100 of those, that's when he gets the crazy 4 bars of power. So we don't want to risk that. We don't want to risk him, you know, triggering that power gain and then throwing a special 3 and basically one-shotting us. I didn't want to take that risk, so I tried to push him to special 2 as much as possible. And we were able to do that quite easily with that special 2 stun. And then also triggering Mystic Dispersion as well. So he throws another special 2 here eventually. Obviously that's unblockable, so we can't block that for Smolders, but we can block there, block some basic attacks. And here we can basically combo out to another special 2, which will stun him again, and make sure he gets to his special 2 again. We can heavy charge into this. Well, we don't actually on this occasion, I'm not sure why. But it's pretty much dead anyway, like the final Incinerates are going to finish him off there. And then the final fight of this war is a Sasquatch. So this is on the personal space regen node. Now there is a node that lets the defender basically purify 5 debuffs whenever they throw a special. However, a lot of Spider-Woman's debuffs against Mystics are severe, including the debilitates, but also the power stings. And so obviously defenders cannot purify severe debuffs. It makes it a lot easier to control that regen through Despair. Now, with Despair, you can't reverse Sasquatch's regen, but you can definitely at least reduce it to 0. And the root node is really helpful for just pushing him to special 2. It also is a bit unhelpful because it just slows down the fight a little bit more because he's not able to throw the special super frequently like we would want him to. But it's not too bad. It's better. It's definitely more of an advantage than a disadvantage in the long run. With the Mystic Dispersion he's triggering, we're able to steal a lot of that through the Wither that we're applying, so we can basically steal half the power he's getting from Mystic Dispersion. He's in the Wrath now. He's throwing heavies like crazy. I'm trying to find a clean opening, but I'm not quite getting it. That's fine. We can just sit there and let our Furies recharge there. We throw a special 1 there. Retaliation's about to fall off actually, but I think he just throws it before it expires. But yeah, that Retaliation definitely did not get the most juice it could have. We combo here into another root, just dash off there. He is under 40% health now, so he's going to start triggering his own regen, his passive regen, which is fine because like you can see we've already got 7 debuffs on him, so that regen is basically not going to trigger at all because he's at 0 regen rate. And then one more special almost gets him down. If he didn't have as many Wrath charges, he would have definitely died from that special activation. But there we go, there's the war for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was a nice fun one with some Science Champions, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.